Hey, how's it going, everybody? Sarasota Tim coming to you from my home base here in Boynton Beach. I don't want to forget this right here. Got my debit card in there to buy the product that I need today. More Kraft buffalo dressing. I might even have one more to do. Yesterday was a Heineken deal at Total Wine. Even though that paid $25 per hour and it was only 3 hours, and I complain about the $13.50 an hour like I'm going to get today and have to work 6 hours. The big difference is people like the chicken tenders with the buffalo dressing dip. And I'm in the Publix, a lot more people walking around. I'm in a central location where plenty of people take samples. And in that Total Wine, both in Boca Raton and the one in Boynton Beach, that'll get hot if I don't drink it. It's only 100 degrees outside. Both of those Total Wine locations, they have people come and do these gigs, these demos, and they put them like right in the middle of the stores, directly in the, like a bullseye in the center of the store. You can't miss them. It doesn't matter what direction of the store you're going for beer or spirits or whatever. You have to see this person that's doing a demo either with wine or spirits. But if you do beer, this guy just ran right through that red light, would have T-boned me. You do not just go when the light is green here in South Florida. Nobody stops for red lights. They have a beer bar that it's set up. You don't get to use your table with your tablecloth and decorate it up and, promote what you're doing. You're in this bar they have built against the wall. It's got all these posters and a TV hanging on the wall and all these different things. It's very busy. You couldn't tell what I'm doing there. And because it's on the back of the store, over on the side wall, it is the loneliest place on earth. And the first time I did it, I thought, oh, it's kind of cool. I'm like a real bartender standing behind this bar. It's no good. They need to let these demos, if they want Heineken Silver to be promoted. I gave away 3 thimbles of samples, and 2 of them were to my subscribers that came by to visit me. And I want to shout out to Mr. Darren and, oh gosh, what was the other gentleman's name? He has an e-bike. We talked for a while. I'm so sorry. I had to ask Darren about 10 minutes later. What was your name again? I'm bad about that. I try to repeat it. But anyway, I want to thank Mr. Darren for, he was my second visitor, for hanging out with me for a good 30 minutes. Maybe even longer. We just really enjoyed conversating. And I said, let me see what time it is. It was 10 after 12, which was 10 minutes past my shift. And no one even came up wanting to sample, or anyone that walked by I could ask if they wanted to sample. So he really kept me company and helped me with that time going by. Today, I keep my phone on the table. It's a 6-hour shift. I'll constantly tap it and see what time it is. And I'm telling you, when you have to stand in one spot doing these things, time slows to a crawl. So I'm on Hypolexo Road today in Congress. It's actually on Congress at the intersection of Hypolexo Road in Lantana at a Publix. If you'd like to come by and say hello and grab a chicken nugget with some dip on it, some of this Kraft buffalo dressing. I'm like really stocked up on it in my house. I keep giving the second bottle I'm going to buy today, 2 bottles. The second bottle never gets opened, and I bring everything home, just like I did those Heinekens yesterday, and gave them to my neighbor. 3 thimbles of 1 bottle. I had to pour the entire bottle out practically, and then bring the other 11 home. That's all that I gave away to talk about Heineken Silver. And it's all because of the location in the store. I could have got many more people to at least sample that and possibly got them to buy it. But nobody came over that way. A few stragglers walk by. They think that they're doing you a favor because it's over in the beer section, like where they have the variety of beers, all those ones that no one buys. It's beers you never heard of. Some people buy them. But anyway, that's my story. So today it'll be good. I'm at a Publix and it's my last day before I have a few days off. I work 3 days in a row, and I'll put some more videos together, and we'll try to give you guys a better setting than me in the old studio here, the 4Runner, in my Sunday go-to meeting. I had one commenter said, after watching so many videos of you with your monkey suit, he called it, or she called it, with the bow tie, I forgot what you look like in regular clothes. So we'll mix it up for you and make sure those thumbnails look a little different. But I do think well in the 4Runner here, and my thoughts come and I'm able to speak. So I made a couple of videos this morning while we were doing laundry. Those of you that shouted out and said hello in the comments to Miss Tammy, because I mentioned something in the video that she was doing the camera work. She is very appreciative. She gets a tick. That tickles her to death. She likes it. We saw the comment about, yes, we fed the kitties, and all of the comments regarding people that agree with getting the Social Security at 62, or the vast majority. One guy made a very profound comment that, like, the government's ever going to tell you the right way to go. Like they're going to promote you to do, let them keep all that money to turn around and pay you back your own money. And meanwhile, you're still paying in to Social Security the whole time you're working. Now, I forgot to mention in that video this morning, again, the only reason you should not collect your Social Security, excuse me, is if you're making a boatload of money. You're knocking down the dollars, and you love doing what you're doing. You don't mind working where you're working, or you are working for yourself. All of those are total valid reasons, because you couldn't keep it anyway. Every $2 you make over your limit of $21,000, the Social Security Department is going to take back $1. And if you don't report it and let them know that you're going to go over your allowed amount that year, it may catch up to you a few years later with these letters, and out of sight, out of mind, nobody can prove anything about how much it was. The numbers could be different. So what I'm learning is, if you're collecting and you're going to make more, contact them and have what they call a worksheet done, so it's recorded, and then they can hold your Social Security, put it on delay, and then once you've ended making that kind of money, or you don't think you're going to make in excess of that the next year, the way it works, I think, is they hold back checks until you've not received them equal to the amount that you went over, if that makes sense. So don't get yourself in a trick bag, with that kind of a thing. And also, something else I was going to say regarding that, I did tell you guys, the first year, this is very important right here. Don't miss this. If you've heard anything in this video, if you start your Social Security at 62 and you have remorse, and you did it because I'm watching a tow truck pull a car and he's riding a wheelie because the truck on the back is so heavy. Back to the point. If you collect your Social Security at 62 and you end up making a lot of money that year, and you decided that it was the wrong thing for you to do that year, maybe the next year would be better, you have a do-over the first year. Before that first year passes, you can stop And the next time you begin, whether it be the next year or 2 years later, they will just not give you checks until the months pass equal to the months they've paid you. But you don't have to give them back the money like, write them a check. They just don't give you checks equal to the amount of months they paid you. But that first year, remember, so go ahead and get it. And you have another year while you're collecting to say, you know what, this wasn't the best thing for me. I'm making too much money, or whatever reason you decide, that's your decision. You do get this do-over. And that's the point I wanted to make regarding that. So that's something very important. But otherwise, it really is a shame that a lot of people just don't see the fact that $15,000 to $20,000 a year at age 62, which is what you will get or not get if you don't take it, times 4 or 5 years to get a few $100 more that would take you beyond the life expectancy age to get back what you didn't take, but getting a few more dollars every month then, with things costing even more to live then. Where does it work out? Where does this put you on easy street by getting this $500, $600, $700 more? All right, I know it can be, if you wait till 70 or whatever it is, you can get, $80, $800 more, a lot more. But hey, the world is very strange right now. The economy, everything else. I wouldn't put anything in it's such a gamble. It's just too much of a gamble. I see a $20 bill laying on the ground there, I'm picking it up. I'm not going to say, well, maybe tomorrow that'll turn into a 50. I mean, you can use all the analogies you want. To me, you're never going to convince me. I say, crush it at 62.